You know McDonald's, right? The Golden Arches, the Big Mac. But what if I told you the real secret to their massive empire has almost nothing to do with the food they sell?
Okay, let's just get this out of the way, because it changes everything. McDonald's isn't actually a fast food company.
Yep, you heard me right. At its core, it's a massive real estate company. And the burgers? Well, they're kind of just the side hustle. And here's the other big twist. The guy who turned McDonald's into a global giant, he wasn't even the one who started it. So how did this all happen? Let's get into it.
Okay, for this, we gotta go all the way back to the 1940s. That's when we meet Richard and Maurice McDonald, two brothers running a super popular little restaurant out in California.
So, what was their secret? It was this thing they invented called the Speedee Service System. Think of it like a factory assembly line, but for making hamburgers. I mean, this was a total game changer at the time.
And check out how simple it was. No waitresses, no giant complicated menu. The whole idea was just fast, cheap food, in your hands in seconds. It was an absolute machine, and people loved it.
So while the brothers are killing it locally, a new character enters our story, Ray Kroc. And at this point, he's just a struggling salesman, trying to make a living.
So by 1954, Kroc is selling these milkshake mixers. And, it's not going great. But then he sees something really weird in his order forms. This one tiny little restaurant in the middle of nowhere ordered 8 of his machines. He just had to go see what was going on.
And what he saw there just blew his mind. It wasn't the food that got him. It was the system, the efficiency, the speed, the long lines of customers. He didn't just see a burger joint. He saw a blueprint that could be everywhere.
So Kroc, being the salesman he was, somehow convinced the brothers to let him start franchising their idea. He starts opening up McDonald's restaurants all over the place, thinking he's on his way. But there was a huge problem.
Even with all these new restaurants popping up, Kroc was basically broke. His contract with the brothers gave him such a tiny slice of the pie that he was making next to nothing. The whole business model, for him, was a failure. And this is the moment it all flips. Kroc is about to lose everything when a finance guy gives him a piece of advice that would literally make history. He said, "Ray, you're not in the burger business. You're in the real estate business."
The new plan was so simple, it was brilliant. From now on, Kroc's corporation would buy the piece of land for every new McDonald's. Then he'd turn around and lease that land to the person opening the franchise.
And just think about that for a second. Selling burgers is risky. Some days are good, some are bad. But rent is a guaranteed check that shows up every single month, no matter what. He had found a constant, stable river of cash.
So, with all this new money pouring in, Kroc got way more powerful. But the McDonald brothers, they were getting nervous. They didn't like his aggressive plans. The creators and the salesmen, they were on a collision course.
Kroc realized that to build the empire he wanted, he needed to be the only one in charge. So, in 1961, he offered to buy the brothers out completely for $2.7 million. Now, that was a ton of money back then, and the brothers, totally exhausted from all the fighting, they took the deal.
And this part is just wild. The deal was for everything. That meant no royalties, no future cut of the profits, nothing. The men whose name was on the sign were now completely out. They walked away, and Ray Kroc had the keys to the kingdom.
With the brothers out of the picture and all that real estate money flowing in, Kroc had a blank check. And what came next was one of the most incredible business expansions the world has ever seen.
The Golden Arches started popping up everywhere, first all over the US and then across the entire planet. It became more than a restaurant. It became a global icon. So let's bring it all home. The next time you drive by a McDonald's, I want you to see it in a totally new light. You're not just looking at a place to get fries.
What you're really looking at is the result of one of the most clever and kind of ruthless business strategies of all time. It's a model where the ground underneath the building is worth so much more than the food being sold inside.
It's such a powerful lesson, right? What a company appears to sell isn't always how they're actually making their money. McDonald's was never really about the food.
It sells real estate, prime pieces of land. And the burgers? Well, they're just the incredibly popular engine that makes sure the rent gets paid on time every time. And that is the real secret to the McDonald's empire.